Hi, happy Monday, everybody. Hope you all had a very pleasant weekend and welcome to this Monday edition of Time Out Overtime. This the one and only Time Out Overtime YouTube channel. I'm your host, Rick Arsenal. You know the drill. If you haven't done so yet, please, folks, get down there in the corner, smash that like and subscribe button. I need more subscribers. Okay, the more the better. And as I've told you before, I think I wish I could use a different word to substitute for subscribe because I think that scares a lot of people off. They think if they're subscribing to something that they're making a monetary commitment. Nothing could be further from the truth here. The only advantage here to being a subscriber is you get notification on your phone and you can watch me live. You've got the option. You can watch me live or watch it later at your own leisure. That's the advantage of being a subscriber. And of course, you can unsubscribe anytime you want. You're not making any commitment. I just wish I had another word I could use other than subscribe because I think that scares a lot of people off. Okay? I can't thank you enough. We've got over 300 subscribers now, but we're always looking for more. Okay? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Where to start? It's mostly baseball today. It's going to be kind of a slow week. Nothing going on now until Friday. The Tigers will gear it up again. They start the second half of the season in Anaheim, a late Friday night game. And we'll get to that in momentarily. But Ward Manuel, University of Michigan athletic director, looks like he's not going anywhere. I'll talk maybe a little more about that on Wednesday. Statement came out today from what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing. He's not living in Ann Arbor. He's not going anywhere. He had meetings today, maybe with the president or whatever, but no, I don't think he's going anywhere. Lions, 2 weeks from today, rookies will report 2 weeks from today on the 27th. And they will hit the field the next day on the 28th at the Meyer Performance Center in Allen Park. The veterans will be in on the 28th as well. And they will, everybody will be on the field for the first full team workout 2 weeks from Wednesday on the 29th. That'll be here before you know it. And football season right around the corner. I know that's hard to fathom with this heat the way it is. By the way, we've got more stifling heat coming in, starting today, I think. It's going to build up the next couple of days with the humidity and the dew point. We used to always say it's not the heat, it's the humidity. Now we're saying it's not the humidity, it's the dew point. I'm not professed to be a meteorologist, but apparently, once the dew point gets over 60, you're looking at some pretty sticky, uncomfortable weather. And let's just hope. Looks like maybe this weekend will be. Last time we went through this a couple of weeks ago, it climaxed to what was some serious storms that knocked a lot of people's power out. Let's hope we don't have to go through that again this week. Anyway. So much for that. So the Lions, and we'll talk a little bit more about this again on Wednesday. Thanks to a Korean doctor who is the managing director of the Samsung Medical Center in South Korea, in Seoul, South Korea, there may be hope for Kirby Joseph's chronic knee condition. As a cartilage issue, which he has already publicly said is not correctable by surgery. But thanks to this South Korean doctor talking about things like acupuncture and laser therapy, there might be some hope. Apparently the Lions are already encouraged by what they're seeing. But again, won't know until training camp starts and Joseph gets on the field. It's a chronic condition. Question is how much pain can he withstand and tolerate? That's up to him. Keep your fingers crossed. Talk more about this on Wednesday, but that's where we're at with that right now. Pistons summer league play last night did beat Cleveland 103-94. Chaz Lanier had 25 points, including 7 threes. The rookie kid out of Stanford had a good night. Yeah, he looks like he'll ball handler, score. I think the Pistons are done. I don't think they're going to do anything more dramatic than what they have. Isaiah Joe and John Collins. I think that's about it. You know, they are almost $50 million now over the cap. They've got get. I think they're going to use obviously a lot of that to re-sign Jalen Duren. So that's where they're at with that. That's about it. The rest is baseball. I wanted to vote mainly to baseball. Of course, nothing new on the Steve Yzerman, Dylan Larkin talks. That's a very sad situation. I spent a lot of time talking about this Saturday morning on the radio, and you know how I feel about it. If a team initiates a trade, if it's the team that initiates the trade, fine. Then the player can exercise his no trade clause. I thought that's mainly what it's for. But the player has too much power. The player has too much power. If he's going to initiate the trade and ask to be traded or demand to be traded, and he can also exercise his no trade clause. No. That's not fair. That's not fair to anybody. Like I said before, I'm not a big Steve Yzerman fan, but if you're coming to me and you're telling me you're demanding a trade, and you've got a no trade clause, there should be another clause in there. Guess what, fella? If you're the one demanding a trade, that's fine. We'll trade you, but you just void. Okay. And Yzerman has reiterated. If he does anything, it's going to be in the best interest of the Detroit Red Wings. And he's also reiterated he can't guarantee any trade at all. I don't see how this gets resolved. It won't be a happy ending for either side. Okay. All right, baseball. Finish line next. Finish Line Family Restaurant on Carlton Road in Hillsdale. The best doggone sit-down restaurant in our area. Nothing comes close. They've been serving our community in this region now for the better part of 4 decades, more than 40 years, and for good reason. You know, they've been very successful. Where do you want to start here? Okay, the hours of operation, 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily. They open late Thursday, Friday night until 8. A lot of great new menu items. Award-winning breakfast served all day. Fast, friendly service, great family atmosphere. They're just the best at what they do. Okay. And I have no script. It's just a testimonial. I'm speaking from experience here. You won't find a better sit-down restaurant in our area. Reasonably priced. A lot of great new menu items. They're just the best at what they do. Okay. On Carlton Road in Hillsdale, the Finish Line Family Restaurant, folks. I better see you all there. Once you fuel up from food at the finish line, you'll always finish first. And reasonably priced. Once you paid your bill and you're headed out of there, you'll have a big smile on your face for good reason. Okay. Better see you all there. All right. Okay. Finish Line Family Restaurant on Carlton Road in Hillsdale. We're also brought to you in part by Barrett Insurance. Seniors, have you got your playbook ready for Medicare? Well, do you? Don't let healthcare costs bench you. We're calling an audible with Joe Rudin at Barrett Insurance to help you navigate Medicare and health insurance. So, whether you're entering into Medicare, you're in a special enrollment period, or you're losing other coverage, Joe's got the stats and the know-how to help you score the best coverage for your needs. Plus, you get a game plan for retirement healthcare costs. Now, what about businesses? Businesses don't get sacked. Joe's got group health coverage options for you too. Okay, you give Joe a call at 517-849-1000 or check him out at www.barrettins.com. That's all one word, 2 R's and 2 T's, barrettins.com. You'll find him on the corner of US 12 and M99 in Jonesville. Joe Rudin Insurance, protecting your dreams, 849-1000. Again, that's barrettins.com, Barrett Insurance, protecting your dreams. And of course, Quality PC in downtown Hillsdale, 37 Walter Street. I've got a little funny story to tell you here in just a second in regard to this too. 37 Walter Street, downtown Hillsdale, 517-610-5372. About 150 feet west of Howell Street, I suppose. The only place around here to go for tech services. There's nothing else comes close. Okay, they're the best at what they do. Tim Manley and his staff at Quality PC are more than capable of resolving any issues, tech issues, or dilemmas that you may have. Okay, we're so blessed to have them here among us. Well, whatever the issue may be, computers new or used, flat screen TV, mounting, programming setup. Maybe you're changing internet providers, you need that installed. Printers, new or used, anything at all. Just get in there and see them, will you please, if you have any issues. 37 Walden Street in downtown Hillsdale, 517-610-5372. Quality PC. You get in there, you tell them Rick and Mickey sent you. Thank you very much. The lineups have been posted for tomorrow night's All-Star game in Philadelphia. Tonight is Home Run Derby on Netflix. The game itself is on Fox tomorrow night. Tonight's Home Run Derby is on Netflix. If you think I'm going to go out and buy a subscription to Netflix just to watch this Home Run Derby, you're nuts. Okay? You're nuts. And it happened. I couldn't care less about this Home Run Derby. I couldn't. We'll get to the lineups in a minute. Tigers ended the weekend losing the last two games to the Phillies. It was still a 4-2 homestand. I don't think they've lost any momentum. Obviously, there's pro and con in regard to Tarik Skubal. Trade him, keep him, trade him, keep him. I think a lot what you do. Skubal spoke. Last week he said the Tigers should be buyers at the trade deadline. Sounds like he's calling all the shots right now. Sounds like he's the general manager. Buyers at the trade deadline. And then over the weekend, he mentioned that he wants to stay in Detroit for the rest of the season. Why not just stay in Detroit, period, Derek? You're telling us, and you know why? I think that's a pretty selfish attitude of him to take. Very selfish. You know why? Because he knows moving is a big hassle. Moving in the middle of the season for a man with a family is a big hassle, period. I tell people when I was growing up, we moved 6 times in 6 years. They don't believe me. Imagine that, going to 6 different schools in 6 years. Yeah, we did. It wasn't easy. Somehow we managed, somehow we got by, but moving is a hassle. I didn't want to tell you that. Okay? But for Skubal to say that, he knows darn well he's not going to be here next year. I say trade him, because since he came back from the Skubal scope, he's been okay, but he hasn't been lights out. Now, the starting pitcher for the All-Star, National League All-Star team tomorrow night is Christopher Sanchez, who the Tigers had to face on Saturday. They didn't do much with him. They lost that game. And, of course, Zach Wheeler, who 2 hits against him yesterday, is the highest paid pitcher in Major League Baseball. We found out why yesterday. He's only lost once all season. What is he now? 10-1? I think so. Look, the Phillies are obviously a better team than the Tigers. Well, they should be. Look at the lineup. Look at the payroll. Yeah, they're a better team, but they're in the National League. School thinks he says he thinks that the Tigers can win the World Series this year. He's saying that because he doesn't want to move right now. He wants to wait till the end of the season before he moves. I think, look, let me say this, okay? The Tigers have the trade deadline is August the 3rd, 3 weeks from today. 3 weeks. So between they start the season Friday night in Anaheim. They've got 16 games between Friday and the trade deadline on August 3rd. If you look at the standings, if you look at the American League standings, there are currently 3 teams that have a worse record than the Tigers do. The Tigers right now are 44-52. There are 8 games in the red. 8 games in the red. 16 games between Friday and the trade deadline, August 3rd, 3 weeks from today. 3 teams with having a worse record than the Tigers do. They are the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, the Kansas City Royals, and the Sacramento Athletics. 10 of those 16 games left are with those 3 teams. The other 6, 3 at Wrigley against the Cubs, 3 at home against the Orioles. Orioles right now have a losing record, but it's better than the Tigers. All right? Let's look at this. Let's do a little piecemeal right now. You go out to Anaheim to start the season. I think that we already know who's pitching for the Tigers. Is it Mize? No, I think it's Angels haven't set a pitching rotation yet for this weekend, but the Tigers are pitching Melton, Skubal at Mize this weekend, I believe. Okay. Just go out there and sweep the Angels like everybody else is. Sweep the Angels. And then on your way back from LA, you're stopping for 3 at Wrigley Field in Chicago. Now, even if you lose 2 out of 3 to the Cubs at Wrigley, all right, that's still a 4-2 road trip. 4-2 road trip. Then you come back here. You got 4 with the Royals and 3 with the Orioles. Sweep those 4 games with the Royals. Now you're 8-2. 8-2 in the first 10 games. You still got 3 with the Orioles left. Take 2 out of 3 from the Orioles. Now you're 10-3 with 3 games left. 10-3 with 3 games left. In Sacramento. Let's say they win 2 out of 3 in Sacramento. Now you're 12-4. 12-4 in those 16 games. You're 12-4 in those 16 games. Okay. What would the record be on August 3rd if you're 12-4 in your next 16 games? 56-56. It'd be a 500 ball club. I don't care what the record is on August 3rd. I think you can be sellers and buyers on the same day. Trade Skubal for a couple of can't-miss prospects, 2 or 3 maybe, but you could still bring in bullpen help or even get a bat for what you have. Max Clark, who's having a pretty good season at Toledo, top prospect. Would you trade him? Would you trade him for relief pitcher? A can't-miss relief pitcher. This is what Scott Harris does on August 3rd. Obviously, this is the most relevant time of his career, of his tenure here in Detroit, and he's probably already spending a lot of sleepless nights. I just presented to you a scenario where the Tigers could get to 500 by August 3rd. Okay. And if you look at that's those 3 games in Sacramento, that's a 3-city 9-game road trip out west. Okay. Then after Sacramento, they've got 3 in Seattle and 3 with the Giants. The Giants might be the worst team in baseball, folks. They're awful. And the last time I looked, the Mariners were on a 5 or 6-game losing streak. They're not that good either. Now, what after that road trip, then they come home for a 6-game homestand, 3 with Cleveland and 3 with the White Sox. Yeah, so we should know something by the middle of August, shouldn't we? I say you can be buyers and sellers on the same day. Under no scenario, under no circumstances would I keep Derek Skubal here. No, no, no. Please, God, please, dear God, don't let Derek Skubal be here after the trade deadline. No, no, no. In fact, since in his starts, I think they've lost the majority of the games that he started this year. He was okay yesterday. Mad when he was taken out after the 5 innings, but he had only given up 1 run. But still, he was certainly outpitched by Zach Wheeler. And after the game, AJ Hinch says he doesn't think they lost any of the momentum that they've gained since June the 1st. So we'll see where that comes to. Anyway, I have presented to you a scenario which would get them to 500 by the trade deadline. Scott, trade Derek Skubal for a couple of prospects, and you can trade a couple of prospects for maybe another bat. Although you got to like what Eduardo Valencia has done so far, can't you? Yeah. Trade Derek Skubal for a couple of prospects and then turn around and trade one of your prospects for some relief help, maybe another bat. Okay, I have more to say about all of this than on Wednesday because there's not a whole lot going on this week. Won't be until baseball gears it up again this weekend. That's going to do it. Don't forget, every Saturday morning locally here, and Andy will be back. Andy Brown will be back Saturday morning for Time Out from 9 to 10 here on WCSR 92.1 FM. Saturday morning from 9 to 10, and I'll talk to you all again then on Wednesday. So until Wednesday, stay cool. It's going to get unbearably hot the next few days, but we'll get by. Thank you so much, folks, for watching and listening. I can't thank you enough. Remember, folks, please treat each other with respect. So until Wednesday, then I will simply bid you all a very pleasant good evening. Thanks for watching. So long, everybody. Bye-bye.